I don't know if it had a construction or not. You'll have to ask whoever it was who had the tile that game. Or I guess I could maybe go back and look at the video later. Unfortunately, I've killed the replay file. But so this map, to get into the actual game here. This is a map. There's not a lot of carbon available, which makes me think that maybe I should prioritize going scavenger a bit more than I normally would, just so I have that carbon, where I don't really prioritize scavenger very heavily at all these days. There is some water. It's not great water. Maybe I steer away from scientific because of that, unless I had a real good reason. Expansive in this territory is something to do. I could also try a robotic game, quite frankly. See if I can make it work. It's not great, but it's potentially doable. Once again, there are a lot of decent territories. Okay, Wells is going to take that one. That's a really good spot. No big surprise that somebody would take it. We can work with these up here, maybe. Even just these two little tiles. We could try... Okay, well, somebody took that spot that we were thinking about. Can't really go scavenger either, so now we have to look around a bit more. Still don't want to go scientific. Not going to get those aluminum tiles. Could get some of these aluminum tiles down here. If we found something like... We could even go robotic, but a lot of players have gone robotic already. So maybe we just go expansive, kind of down here. We're in a corner. It's not good, but it's usable. Oh, that one's still adjacent. I didn't realize that one was still adjacent. Shoot. Okay, well, let's just make steel then. Let's just make steel. We actually need aluminum. I don't know why I sold it. I'm going to need 80. So there we go. That should be just fine. We'll sell down some carbon as well. And now we wait. Can't use black market because we don't have any money. Could sell down the steel, I suppose, if we want to get to a black market purchase, but I don't see a good reason to do that immediately. We just kind of have to sit back and wait and see what we can do with what we've got at this point. This scavenger player actually destroyed quite a bit of water with his found. It was an aggressive scavenger found. I was tempted to try and found scavenger like here and take his tiles from him. See if I could use that to go ahead and win, but... Alright, that's going to be a lot of aluminum coming in. This geo auction, we'd really like this tile. We were kind of hoping for this geo tile. With any luck, we'll manage to get it. Also, Bradbury is an AI, so that's another thing worth paying attention to. Yeah, Niven's doing the power thing. It's alright. Alright, that's as high as we go for that tile. That's really pushing it. 28,000. That's really pushing it. But we are expansive, and it's very close to us. So with any luck, it'll be alright. Hello, my name is Indecision. Oh, that's silly. Alright, well, do we just go for this? I don't think so, because of the aluminum price in particular attached to it. Usually the aluminum's not that big a deal. But this game, the aluminum's kind of a big deal. We need our expansion. We'll throw down a little extra steel. I don't think we take aluminum for ourselves. Instead, maybe we just grab some silicon. We could go into more power. I mean, we could do the aluminum thing and then plan on moving it into power later. If we go ahead and secure the silicon that we need, I guess that's all right. It's not great, but it's usable. We could just even go into a lot of silicon right here, plan on a power play before long. It's doable. It's just awkward and weird, and I don't like it. And we're, like, completely ignoring the black market right now. Adrenaline boosts going down. No big surprise. Adrenaline boosts are good. We just need this glass secured, and hopefully we'll be alright. Wells is in a great spot right now. His debt's not too bad. His debt's about pretty similar to ours, actually, given his bond rating. But we're coming up. We're trying to make it work. We'll just have to see what happens. He's just overall in a much better position than we are. Except for, like, one of his iron tiles, and that's his big problem right now. Let's see. Computer got a little farm built. Alright, well, that's no big surprise. Farms are pretty good. We could try and make it so that we can get to farms at HQ level 3. This is a risky move. This is definitely a risky move. But it could work. As long as we can get this upgrade done, we're going to go ahead and get this geotherm down fairly soon, I think. Because we're going to be pushing for an upgrade anyway, so we're not really looking to sell steel right now. We'll just have to see what happens. Okay, an overload instead of a power surge, not really what you're after, I guess, but that almost certainly would have been Niven trying to drive up power prices. A bit more understandable play. And it could work for him. He's probably making quite a lot of money on power right now. We can see he's making something, that's for sure. Alright, power is kind of awkward. I don't know exactly where it's going. It's moving down on average, it looks like right now, so that's potentially okay. Means we'll need to be careful with these silicon tiles. They might not go as crazy as they did last game in particular, but we can always plan on moving into glass plus food if we need to, instead of some of this steel production, all kinds of small things like that. Hopefully we'll be alright. Another geotherm tile. Well, we can bid on that, but I'm not too excited about it. Okay, silicon jumped to like 50, so we're going to sell some. Maybe even enough to grab an adrenaline boost. There we go. That's enough for an adrenaline boost. So we've got that secured. We don't want to upgrade just yet. We're okay not upgrading just yet. Sell off just a little bit to make sure we can grab the iron we need. We got hit by an overload. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We do have a geotherm coming up, and we do have the ability to build additional power easily, if and when we want to. Aluminum's still holding its price okay, so it's kind of okay for now that we don't have power down. But it is something we'll need to look at. We could actually just scrap this metal mine and dump it in power for the time being. That's okay. Alright, come on. Give me the expansion. There it is. Farm. Just once we have the steel, we'll be able to put these down. We just have to wait on the steel. We have the glass secured already. Farm, farm. Farm. We cannot transition because of the overload being a ridiculous thing. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. The overload is dumb. There's really no way around it. We can move into more power instead of aluminum for now, instead of using another claim. That leaves the question, what do we do with this last claim? I'm thinking securing water, even super far away, would not be a bad idea. No underground nukes available, so that's something to watch out for. I would love to make this move into glass like I planned to, but network virus is the most overpowered thing in the entire game, so I can't. Just the way it is, unfortunately. Let's grab a goon squad so I can defend this food while I'm boosting it. That will help. Here we go. Unfortunately, we are super late to this transition, but maybe it'll be okay. Silicon's still doing alright. We might need to move that later. It's kind of the place we've put ourselves. Unfortunately, a lot of our income is kind of in power, which means it's not actual income at all. But that's just is what it is. I don't even know if this is a good move at this point. Like, glass, enough people got glass down, and this was boosted. I didn't see the boosted glass down in particular. That it's causing problems. But we can upgrade at least. Maybe we shouldn't have done this. Maybe we should just cut our losses and say, fine, we'll make steel instead. Just admit the mistake, go with it. We couldn't make the transition when we wanted to, and then I was kind of stuck in my mind that that's what I was doing. And so even when it became a stupid thing to do, I still did it. And I shouldn't do that. Alright, well, a little more water would be good. Let's get a patent lab down. Go ahead and goon squad it. This is all for in the quest for more water. We're doing a patent lab instead of an engineering lab this time. That's really strong power production out of him. Unfortunately for him. Power's not very good right now. Alright, steel's still going strong. We do have one claim left, so I guess we will go ahead and do the last bit of steel. Oh, an underground nuke is actually really important right now. Oh, an underground nuke is huge. Like an underground nuke. I can't even describe how important this underground nuke is. Okay. Bam. There, take that, jerk. There might have been a medium water to hit that would have been better, but Wells had the high one, and so I didn't want him to have the high one anymore. So what it came down to, I didn't want him to have it. So we need to get this upgrade going quickly. We need to get to an upgrade. You know, we need to get slant drilling going quickly. We need to get to an upgrade before too long, because we are relying entirely on these water-based resources right now, and water is going to be going nuts. That's why we want slant drilling quite badly at this point, because we need to get into some more water, and the best way for ourselves to do that, the best way we can do that, is go ahead and get slant drilling secured. So 120 seconds on that. I think that means we're going to have it fairly easily. So I'm not too concerned about that. It is protected by a goon squad. We could grab another goon squad, potentially. Let's see. Let's grab a power surge, though, because power surges are really good. The aluminum's doing well for us, which is nice. Wells is already at HQ level 5. We need to be looking at Offworlds are not great, so we'll just need engineering labs once we've upgraded. So an upgrade is kind of what we're looking for before long. 74,000 for it. Steel is super expensive. Yep, the reactors are losing money. The food is losing money. We knew all that was coming. I was hoping it would take a little longer, but we knew it was coming. 80 glass secured. Now we're just kind of waiting on steel. I'm going to need to make this happen at some point. Okay, steel surplus. Well, let's wait for the end of that. Let's just sell out of steel constantly. Wait for the end of the surplus. Oh, come on, computer. What is that? Oh, fine. Yes. Yeah. Okay, surplus is almost done. I still wish I could hit an auto sell button. Alright, let's go ahead and do it now. It was below 50. That was plenty low. Got that done. Still can't secure extra water with slant drilling at this point, but I can go ahead and throw down an engineering lab here and maybe one here. Kind of risky. I'm opening myself up to black market an awful lot right now, but just the way it's got to be. Alright. 2 more claims can go to water, and then I need 2 more on something else. I could plan on reactors. I could head into chems fairly easily and just transition out of the reactors in the short term. I could even scrap out this power here and just go into chems all through here. Maybe that's okay. Chems should be acceptable without issue. Alright. Slant drilling's almost done. I would like to not be hit by a magnetic storm when I've got all this water production flowing, which is going to be quite good. Alright, Wells Bradbury's trying to buy Wells. Herbert's kind of buying into Wells. It's understandable. Wells' debt is getting to him quite a bit. Bid 1 more on that. His food's turned off. His glass is okay. I think we just have to let it go for 18 though. 18's getting a bit ridiculous. Our debt's already a little kind of it's not terrible, but it's not good at all. Let's go ahead and grab a goon squad then. Alright, somebody trying to blow up our patent lab. That's not going to quite work out for them. Get those pumps down that we want. A lot of water coming in. A lot of water. It's going to be good. We could go for teleportation. We could go for... Teleportation's tempting because we've got these 2 tiles out here, but not super great. Nanotech would actually probably be our best option. Let's upgrade chem production. Don't want to control shift down because I've got all this silicon stocked up. Keep upgrading chem production. And now we start buying into ourselves. Just all the time, buying into ourselves. Let's see, we can turn these back on. That'll be good. These are iffy because carbon's gotten super crazy. Maybe we cancel nanotech and just go into carbon scrubbing instead. We can probably secure it. I'm not sure about this here. We do have a mutiny available if we want to take the patent lab, so there's that. Make sure we keep selling stuff so we can keep making stuff and keep buying our own stock. Keep paying down debt at some point. Not yet. What do I want to do with these, though? How are these actually doing? These are losing money. Chem labs are actually losing money right now. How amazing is that? Alright, turn the farms back on. Carbon's just too crazy. This is what I was talking about earlier. I mean, I knew this was coming. I had identified maybe I go for scavenger because carbon. I did say that. It would have been a good idea, as it turns out. Chem labs are kind of barely profitable again. Turn those back on a bit. Power is getting real crazy. So maybe we move out of steel and into power for the time being. Don't let our debt get too ridiculously out of control. Make sure these keep going with upgrading chem labs. And watch out for Clark, who is trying to make progress toward buying somebody, it looks like. He at least has a lot of cash saved up. Okay, well. Making progress, slowly but surely, but we're letting debt get a little out of control here, unfortunately. And Clark might actually be able to kill us because of it. We might have let it go too far. Pay down some debt. Keep buying ourselves up. We are making a lot of power now, and power's worth a lot. Okay, Clark took down somebody else off of his ridiculous carbon production. At least it wasn't us. And we're still in the game, so that's something, at least. On the other hand, it also means he's very close to successfully buying out Herbert. Okay. We're not in a good spot. Clark's in a great spot. He went scavenger and the carbon paid off, is what it comes down to right now. Like, the carbon's just doing massive amounts of work for him. We do have carbon scrubbing, so that's very, very good for us. Unfortunately, people are still making electronics, and I don't really understand why. How are we still consuming carbon? Why am I consuming 1.5 carbon a second? Don't give me that. I'm not consuming carbon. Maybe it'll cycle in just a moment. I think we only just got carbon scrubbing. There. Now it says I'm not consuming any carbon. Good. Niven starting to buy us a bit. Alright, well that gives us a nice easy goal at least. Or a nice simple goal, not necessarily easy. Okay. We could also just try and kill off Bradbury. He's in Niven a little bit. Could work out okay. Power still nuts. We could upgrade power a bit if we want to. We can upgrade a lot of things, actually, and it would all be good. Power might be a decent first step, though, just to keep our stock price reasonably high. Alright. Niven's still in us a bit. Okay, Bradbury is kind of the easy, simple goal, actually. That's where we head now, is Bradbury. Alright, let's go ahead and use this mutiny that I picked up a long time ago. And use another one. Oh, seriously? Whatever. These two tiles are still concerning me. They're not doing much for me at all. Oh, get out of my way. I need to buy up Bradbury. Go away. This is important. Buy more Bradbury. I guess we upgrade food. Food's going more... Or not food, sorry, water. Water is still moving up. I was not expecting that at all. I need to just scrap out of these and put power down. That's what I should have done a real long time ago. I should have done that. Bradbury takes 341 because Herbert bought up a lot of it while I wasn't paying attention. That is unfortunate. Niven is 236. Alright, well, do what we can as we can, I suppose. We're still not in a good way, and unfortunately we got hit by an EMP. It's not killing our profits necessarily, but it is hurting our debt payments, which are kind of important right now. 375, 302. Niven has a lot of debt to pay out, and he has some money to do it. It's not great money, though. Food's still not good. Let's get back into steel, because steel is good. The chems are doing fine because we upgraded them so heavily. Clark is just going to run away with the whole thing, though. And it's purely because people keep making carbon-based things. I do not understand why they did that, but they did. And it's been causing problems. Okay, 415 there, 312 there. I don't think we can quite do it, but we can try. And we had just had too many wasted tiles. We went for both silicon and aluminum. If we hadn't done that, we might have had a shot this game. But because we went for both, we got ourselves into a lot of trouble. 440. These guys are just all too difficult to kill, I think.
Freelance pirates are auctioning their services.
Alright, keep upgrading, keep upgrading. I'm also not using this patent lab tile, so I've had a lot of dead tiles this game. It has not been a good game for me at all. I mean, a mule, I guess, would be fine. We can get something done with it. Water's going well. I mean, this slant drilling is kind of working for us, but... What do we move into if we move into anything? I mean, we've got this here. We could go teleportation. We could go nanotech, actually. Would probably be a good call right now. We want to use these tiles because chems are super cheap, so we want to use them. Okay, overloaded, don't care at all. Like, power's not even expensive right now, so I super don't care about getting overloaded. Upgrading water still is good. We're trying to make money. Doing what we can. 450, yeah, 450 plus right now. That's what we're looking at. One option is to try and buy into Clark, but we don't have enough, anywhere near enough to potentially kill him. We're just nowhere close. We're much closer to killing the other two, and while it would be nice to make him spend money, we can maybe do that after we've secured somebody else. And use that as kind of like a last-ditch effort to push to that last guy against Clark. Well, not making great money still, but it's still kind of acceptable. I think people maybe didn't realize... Okay, there we go. We got to the computer buy, which is something. He's got an Offworld constructing, which I guess we can use. That is a lot of wasted silicon tiles right there. That's interesting. Sell down more water. Water is upgraded heavily. Keep going with it. I have 2 patent labs now. I don't need 2 patent labs, so we need to figure out something to do with that tile. I guess we can move it into an entertainment whatever nonsense, but let's go ahead and send some fuel. It's not good, but it's okay. We're making steel pretty effectively. We can keep upgrading there. I don't want virtual reality this game. I think I'm going to need to actually make money at some point, so let's buy into Clark a bit. Make sure we've got some of his stock secured, or make him spend money on it at least. There he goes. He's spending money on it. Sell down water, because that is just flying in. I guess teleportation would not be the worst idea in the world. What is the worst idea in the world is leaving these online. So let's get rid of those. Move into glass there. Upgrade glass. Don't really want virtual reality. Do want teleportation. I guess we'll finish virtual reality. I've let it go for so long. I guess we'll finish it. And here, let's go into some engineering labs, see if we can make that work. Sell down more water. We're totally destroying that price at this point, which I guess is kind of okay. We can move into other resources. We have so much water flying in, though. It's totally nuts. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Let's see, what other water tiles do we have? We have like one up here. We have a carbon tile up there. I guess it's all kind of usable. It's still not particularly good. Chem should still be doing well for us. We have them upgraded pretty heavily. Steel's doing well. Glass is upgrading slowly but surely. That'll be a bit faster once these come online. Let's plan on upgrading some steel. Alright, what do I need? 606. Clark is at 400-ish, 350-ish. He's actually behind us in terms of cold hard cash right now because we made him buy up himself. And he's kind of an expensive dude. Oh, that got mutinied away. Shoot. I should have taken that back. Well, noticed it way too late, but whatever. Okay, we have too much water. Scrap that water tile, throw down some power.
Offworld shipment launched.
Alright.
Look at all the
Offworlds are launching, slowly but surely. We are getting there. Need to get aggressive with the black market to some degree. Attack that Offworld. Power surged on our glass, no big surprise. Glass is really good. And we have just too much water. I'm just going to go ahead and scrap out of those and go into like reactors. Maybe I can hit... I've got teleportation on the way. This thing is done. We could move it into that pleasure dome I was talking about. Wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just not great, unfortunately. 652 is what we're looking at as our current goal. Unfortunately, we're just letting everything get a little too out of hand this game. I'm just going to do one of these, see where we stand. Okay. Not in a great spot, but not at the end. Not dead yet, I suppose. Still not pulling in silicon anymore. Frozen on way too many things. Need to keep attacking. Clark, where is the rest of your stuff, Clark? What do you have over here? We can just... that was an expensive EMP, but I think we can make good use of it. There we go. Chem's still rolling in. Steel's rolling in faster now as well. Let's upgrade oxygen. Could upgrade electronics before long. Close to that Niven buy. We're starting to get there. It's just not great yet. Alright. We should be sending food instead of fuel, but I'll let the fuel finish up. We can convert this guy into an off-world market before long. Niven's still kind of in a scary spot. I guess we do it now. We need to do it as fast as possible, realistically. We need to just get those online. Making steel, making chems, it's all good. Making glass, move this back into silicon. Silicon's coming up. We don't want to let that happen because our opponent has an awful lot of it. We do have nanotech, an important thing to remember. We can scrap and get the resources back. It's an important detail. Alright, cancel that. Send food, please. Send food. There we go. Water is back to being kind of an option. These are still making good money, though. I mean, the water's also making really good money, so it's a bit of a weird position, but that was getting kind of scary. He was pretty close to buying us. Alright, we have electronics production down now. It was boosted electronics as well. That's kind of an important detail I wasn't paying much attention to. The glass is so good. Let's just boost some of that out. He has a lot of off-worlds down, but off-worlds aren't quite the reigning king at this point. Not quite yet. Okay. We could go into some off-worlds ourselves, though. If we really, really want to, we can. Unfortunately, his were super cheap, and ours are kind of awkward to try and place down anywhere. Everything's just not looking great for us still. It's okay, but it's not good. Get out of that. Get out of that. Off-world.
Offworld shipment launched. Look at all the
Okay, well, let's just send food. Which means we need to be making a lot of food, which means we need to upgrade food. Chems are still super expensive. I'm really nervous about this off-world transition and how it's going to work out. I need to get back into aluminum. Aluminum's going a bit nuts. Steel has crashed out completely, which is okay. We'll just move out of it and into more glass. Our glass keeps getting... Oh, what did I just scrapped an off-world by accident, I think. No, that was an engineering lab, so it's kind of okay, but it still wasn't good. That was a complete misclick right there. Don't usually lose this game to misclicks. Pay down debt, because we're almost certainly going to need to. Trying to push it long as best as we can. Make sure these are sending. Come on. I'm just making all kinds of ridiculous errors this game. Unacceptable, ridiculous errors. Well, the electronics are strong-ish. The aluminum's going well. He's having trouble actually killing us, which is good, I suppose. Grab another power surge. Probably should have hit glass with that. We'll try and make it work. We'll try and get it done. It's probably not going to happen, but we'll try. All right. We are making money. We do have a lot of Offworlds down. He has some debt to pay off. He has a lot of cash on hand. We need about 1 million to kill him. What do we have here? This mule? I should have used this a long time ago. Food is insane. We need to make sure we're not shipping much of it. Cancel this, for example. Send that instead. Send another one of these. What happened? I'm getting mutinied and I'm not seeing it.
Look at all the money.
It's too difficult to keep track of everything that's going on. And mutinies are just so expensive right now. I don't even know if it's worth it to take it back. Except that Offworlds are pretty good. Cancel those. Sell. Okay, well, hopefully that's enough for the time being. We're just trying to crank out glass and food. We should be making more food at this point than we are. I thought we had enough food production down, and I was completely wrong about that. Scrap here. Food. There we go. Alright, we're just about there. We're just about there.
Look at all the money.
There you go.
305, dark blue, code.
That was a weird one. We sold a lot of power that game, guys. We sold a lot of power. We sold a lot of glass. It was once again... I'll show you the only tab that matters. Is that one. To that. That was the only reason. Still though, we made it work. It was awkward. It wasn't entirely us. I mean, GameSlayer made some errors, obviously, but because he got to a super early buy. And it was all this carbon that we predicted. Eventually, though, the carbon fell off. And he couldn't quite clean it up from there. I think one advantage we had was we were expansive. So we had quite a lot of tiles, even with some mistakes in placing. Like, taking both the aluminum and the silicon, I still think was a mistake. There were periods of time where they were both useful, and obviously at the end of the game, we had both of them making their actual resource. But I don't think we should have taken both of them. I think we should have taken one or the other. Excuse me. I think that was the biggest single mistake that game, besides just being kind of late to the found. We made the found work. We started catching up. Wells was pulling well ahead on upgrades and then died to himself. Which kind of happens sometimes, but that's alright. We made the slant drilling play work for us, which was a big deal. With the water the way it went. That worked out well. All of the patents eventually helped out as well. I guess that's another thing we shouldn't discount, is we had carbon scrubbing. And man, was that a big deal, that game. That we had carbon scrubbing. I don't want to... like, how much carbon did we actually buy? We bought 46,000 carbon. We sold 62,000 somehow, apparently. But we were leaning very heavily on a while on this chem production, while we struggled to find another good thing to make, and to get into it, and to make it work. But we just sat on chems the whole time because of carbon scrubbing, and that was a pretty big deal. If we look at everybody else... let's see, no carbon bought, but no carbon resource made, so that's no big surprise there. All this carbon bought, 121,000 to make electronics. Here, even GameSlayer was buying a lot of carbon, but, you know, that's just to be expected. Bradbury not buying a lot of carbon, selling a lot of carbon. That was the computer. He's going to do that kind of thing, it's whatever. And then year end, though, buying 42,000 carbon, selling only 30,000. And I'm sure he had some of that secured for himself, like these tiles were probably secured by the computer end by year end, and so on and so forth from there. It's just an odd game. Just an odd game. Alright. I think I've got time and voice left for one more, so we'll do one more 6-man game.